There are a ton of weapons to collect and modify in Fallout 76, but as a new player you won't have access to many of them right away. So in this video, I will be showing you the locations of 11 weapons that you can get very early on in the game. Now before we get started, I will just say that due to the online aspect of Fallout 76, there is a chance that when you get to the locations that I'm about to show you in this video, the weapons may not be there. This is because someone may have recently been to that location and picked up the weapon before you got there. If this happens to you, all you will need to do is leave the server that you are on, then return to that location to get the weapon on a new server. To get the first weapon, you will want to head east from Vault 76 to the North Kanawha Lookout. When you get here, you will want to look for this house. Behind the house, you will find a guitar sword leaning against the building. The stats on this weapon will scale depending on your level when you pick the weapon up, but this will still be a pretty decent early game melee weapon. After that, we will want to head over to Helvetia. When you get here, make your way to the center of the area near the church and look for this building. And here in a display case, you will find the black powder blunderbuss. This weapon is a great early game weapon due to the high base damage on it, and with this weapon you will be able to quickly take out most of the enemies that you encounter during the early sections of the game. But it does take a while to reload this weapon, which makes it a little bit annoying to use, but it makes up for this by doing a lot of damage. From here we will want to head over to the Mama Dolce's food processing building, which will be right here on your map. When you get here, make your way to the office on the top floor, and on this desk you will find the manager's card. Then you can head out the back door of the building and look for this pipe, which will have this orange hatch on it. Go into that pipe and use the manager's card to unlock this door. And in this underground bunker you will find the Chinese officer sword. This weapon can spawn in the first office room on the right after you leave the pipe, or on the bottom level of the bunker inside of this locked loot cage that you will need to hack the nearby terminal to get into. The Chinese officer sword is a really good early game melee weapon that will do a lot of damage, and the mods for this weapon aren't too rare, so you can do a lot with this weapon. To get the next weapon on this list, you will want to head to this location on your map. Here on the road you will find a broken down truck with a 50 cal machine gun on the back of it, which you can pick up and use for yourself. This will be a pretty strong heavy weapon, and you can modify the barrel to increase its damage even more. After that, head to this location to the east. Here you will find a pool of acid with a broken safe in the middle of it. Hop in and run to the safe. Inside of that safe you will find the Alien Blaster pistol. This weapon may spawn as a higher level weapon, but it will do a lot of damage, and you can toss it into your stash until you are a high enough level to use it. The next 4 weapons on this list will actually come from the same 2 locations, and that will be the Philippi Battlefield Cemetery and Prickett's Fort. These 2 locations will be like old war museums that will have a ton of display cases that can spawn 4 different powerful early game weapons inside of them. Again, this location may be empty when you get here, so you may need to switch to a new server to get all 4 of the weapons that can spawn here, but in these display cases you will find the black powder pistol, black powder rifle, tomahawk, and the Bowie knife. The black powder weapons will be very strong for the level that you can start using them, but like the black powder blunderbuss, they will have a longer reload time. But the black powder rifle is extremely worth it due to it fitting into many early game rifle builds, and it will have a very high base damage. On top of that, it will come with a perk that will increase limb damage by 25%, and it will give you a 20% chance to cripple the targets you shoot with this weapon. The tomahawk is also a pretty good early game melee weapon. To get the next weapon on this list, you will need to travel over to the Sunny Top Ski Ling's location. When you get here, clear out all of the super mutants, then find the reception desk near the front door. Jump behind the counter and grab the room 6 key off of the wall, then make your way to room 6. When you get to the door, you will want to activate the trap on the floor and wait for the explosion to go off in the room before you enter the room. Then once you're in that room, you will find the missile launcher set up on the trap that you can take for yourself. Now this may be a higher level weapon and it will be pretty heavy, especially with the ammo for it, but if you don't already have an explosive weapon, this is a great start. The 11th weapon on this list will come from the Palace of the Winding Path. In the southwest area of this location, you will find these small bridges that go over water, and near the cliff you will find a small shooting range. On the table at the shooting range, you will find the crossbow, and you can go up to the targets at the shooting range to find some ammo for it. Personally, I really like the crossbow weapon and I used it a lot during the earlier levels of the game, and eventually you'll be able to upgrade the crossbow, allowing you to use different arrows that will have different effects, like fire, poison, and cryo. And just as a quick bonus, if you head over to the Gorge Junkyard Workshop near Vault 76, you can enter this building beside the workshop bench, and here you will find a pump-action shotgun. Shotguns are a really great early game weapon as they will do a lot of damage at close range, and you will also find a ton of ammo for them. So this weapon will be a great thing to have for when you run out of ammo for your primary weapon. And those are a handful of weapons that you can get very early on in Fallout 76 with guaranteed spawn locations. Now of course they won't be the best weapons in the game and they aren't legendaries, but they will still be useful additions to your collection that will help you get further into the game to get much better weapons. But the next Fallout 76 video that I post on this channel will go over the locations of some really great legendary weapons. So if you're interested in seeing that video, consider subscribing to this channel. I hope this video helped you and thank you for watching.